What's going on, guys? We are back for another episode on the Project Mazdaspeed 3. Today, we're going to be going over some major issues I was having and was tracing down for weeks until today. And I found out what it was and got to fixing and got her up and running. So, some exciting content. So, stay tuned. If you guys were watching the other episodes, you'll know that I was having a lot of overboost issues, and I recently had started getting some AFR issues where I was running like 8 at idle, which is like super rich. So I had to cut everything off and tear the car apart to figure out what was going on. Big help and thanks and shout out to my tuner Justin Brazil with Freak Tune. Dude was up early morning on Sunday just messaging back and forth with me trying to figure out what was going on. So what it ended up being was the AFRs were all jacked up. Because I had an overboost issue, and I was thinking, it had to do something with the wastegate or something not opening. So we dug into it a little bit more, and we ended up finding out that the wastegate was loose on the flange. So I was like, holy crap, that's it. So spent some time getting that up there, fixed it all up, and then realized the screws that we had in the 2-bolt flange that goes to the V-band was backed out, and I'll show you exactly where I'm talking about. So back in here, this manifold actually uses a 2-bolt wastegate, so I had to get a 2-bolt to V-band flange, and those 2 bolts basically just backed out. So that was my fault, and didn't use Loctite, whatever. So I fixed that. So with that issue, after I had turned the car back on, it was going crazy. So that's when I was running lean, or rich, AFRs were all over the place, and I was like, what is going on? Like, I could not figure out for the life of me what it was. Tightened it back up, and I'm thinking, what could possibly be going on? So I was messaging Justin, he's like, I don't know what's going on, check this, and this. It wasn't working, and my buddy's like, hey, why don't you try to do a battery reset? And depress the brake so it depletes all the energy from the car. So I was like, man, that seems weird. So I did it, and while I'm waiting for the battery to just kind of sit for a little bit, I'm like, man, I wonder why. So basically what it comes down to is the wastegate was loose, which was basically causing an exhaust leak. So the car was overcompensating, or recompensated and fixed itself due to that exhaust leak. So now that the wastegate's sealed up, it now had the correct pressure, which was throwing everything off. The ECU was going crazy, didn't know what the AFRs were, so it was just throwing fuel at it. So I did a battery reset, and hooked the car back up. 30 minutes later, boom, AFRs right on point again, perfectly fine. Then I started tracking down the boost issue. So I completely bypassed the electronic boost controller, and basically what I did was just run the boost line that is hooked up to the turbo straight to the wastegate to run spring pressure. Why not? Because it shouldn't go anything over spring pressure. Well, think again, Brainiac. So that was fun. So go for a test drive and spike about 28 psi, about shit my pants, because I was like, someone help me pick up my pistons, because I was like, this car is gonna blow up. And I was getting super aggravated. So I come back and I just sat here and stared at the car, just like this, just staring at it. I'm like, what could possibly be wrong? So then I was thinking to myself, I'm like, there has to be an issue with the boost source. And I'm like, the boost source is the turbo. And I'm like, why is it not reading any boost pressure from, because obviously if there was boost coming from it, there would be some kind of trigger for something to go and it would cap out at something instead of just keep boosting. So I'm like, huh. So I was like, let me take that nipple off of the turbo and see if there's anything stuck in there that's causing something. So I take that off, and come to find out, the turbo housing, the compressor housing, that hole port for the nipple to go on has to be drilled out. It wasn't even open, so the boost source wasn't even putting any air out to anything, letting it know like what it was at. So the entire time I've been like figuring this problem out. It's been that the whole time. I just had to literally pull the compressor housing off and drill a hole real quick into the port that it's in, which is basically what they tell you to do, but no one ever told me that when I got the turbo, and I didn't even realize it. So drilled the hole, put the compressor housing back on, put the whole car back together, and instantly, like, when I say instantly, I went out and did a test pull, and it hit like 20 pounds, and I'm like, okay, well, let me ride it out and see if, you know, it starts to spike again. So I did a pull, and the car ran incredible. It just like slammed the gas right up, held 20 pounds, perfect. And that's where we're at target for a base map, which is perfect. So I was like, this is awesome. Car's ready to go. I figured it out. Let's do this. So jumped in the car again after coming back and just tidying some things up, and went out to Mexico and just started banging gears, trying to see if anything would, like, if I'd get sputter, break up, anything. Nothing. So I was like, all right, cool, it's time. Tuner's been asking me for logs forever since I've been tracing this problem. So I was like, cool, I'm gonna get some third gear logs. So went on the highway, went down to Mexico, and let her rip. So worked out good. I have a video that I'll post up now. Fast, but it's a base map, and it pulled really clean, and it pulled really good, and it felt amazing, and I'm just really happy to have the car like running the way it should be. So sent those logs off. They look great. It's probably right around like 286 horsepower on the base map, and that's using V-dyno. I know everybody's like, oh, V-dyno, it's not fucking accurate, but you know, it's accurate enough to get a gist of what you're doing. I was on a flat road, tires weren't spinning, so it's pretty close. Don't care about numbers anyway. I just want the car to be fast and just start fucking embarrassing people. So that's where we're at right now. I'll throw up some pictures of what I was doing today, and yeah, that's about it. I'll throw up some pictures at the end, and we'll be good to go. So just wanted to say thanks for watching. Thanks for staying tuned in the channel. Remember, if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. You're gonna want to subscribe. Car's running tip top now. We're gonna start tuning. There's gonna be a bunch more videos of data logging and, you know, pulls on the highway, stuff like that. Now that we can actually get into it and have fun. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you later.